I've been raising Triops for many years now, and I thoroughly enjoy it. If you've never heard of Triops, well, that's not surprising. I hadn't heard of them until a few years ago when a friend of mine told me about them because I'm such a big fan of trilobites. Of course, they're not trilobites, which became extinct during the Great Dying, but visually, they're very close. And while they're not as ancient as trilobites, they're pretty ancient, going back to the time before T-Rex, which was the Jurassic, the Cretaceous. But enough about that. You want to know about their care and feeding. And since they're such tiny little critters, you can get by with a 1-gallon tank, which will give a whole colony plenty of room. No need to go any bigger than that. I use distilled water, and no heater is required. The water stays at room temperature. My main tank has a tiny filter, but I don't run it all the time. Just when I think that the water could use a little bit of a cleanup. And since I mentioned the main tank, it should hint that I have a much smaller nursery tank for the eggs and hatchlings, which are about as tiny as a grain of sand. Now here's a view of some hatchlings that are 48 hours old. Triops live for a month or so, which is their normal life cycle, and it can be kind of upsetting if you don't know that. But it's a lifestyle that's worked for them for over 200 million years. And since they're just miniature shrimp, they eat shrimp food, which you can get at your local fish store or online. They always lay eggs, and when I dump out the tank, I harvest the eggs for future generations. I haven't paid for Triop eggs for many years, but that's how you start. Look for a kit online. I like Triops. Highly recommended.